Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to defend myself from a most terrible slur that was put on the Hansard record by my colleague, the member for Clark, Ms Haddad, on Tuesday night. Ms Haddad, in this place, and I have a copy of her speech here, said she was calling out racism, pure and simple. I challenge Ms Haddad to step outside this place and call me a racist. That is defamatory, and she used that language under cover of parliamentary privilege. Madam Speaker, Ms Haddad has called me a xenophobe in print and a racist in here. It is an understatement to say I take personal offence. I want Ms Haddad to withdraw and apologise. Ms Haddad said words matter. Madam Speaker, they sure do. What words did I use that were xenophobic or racist? Ms Haddad, in her contribution, could not point to one example, despite being repeatedly challenged to do so by my colleague, Dr Woodruff. To call someone a racist is a most terrible slur. And as someone who spent the first 6 years of their life in India, Singapore and Japan, who spoke Japanese as a child, who's been to China twice, once as a guest of Ms Haddad's father, as it happens, Madam Speaker, and loved the place and its people, who is living a life immersed deeply in the lives and concerns of all people, no matter where they come from, I reject it absolutely. Ms Haddad should have the insight and the guts to apologise. Ms Haddad is consciously or unconsciously, Madam Speaker, running Chinese Communist Party talking points. It is standard operating procedure, Madam Speaker. Well, I go now to Clive Hamilton's landmark book, Silent Invasion. And he says, for writing this book, I'll be accused of racism and xenophobia, epithets flung at anyone who raises the alarm about the influence of the Chinese Communist Party in Australia. The accusation can be made only by conflating the CCP with Chinese people, so that being anti-CCP must mean being anti-Chinese. This is exactly what the CCP wants us to think. It's a cheap accusation, but it serves as an effective silencing device in this country because of the widespread and quite proper sensitivity to inflaming racial tensions. However, that sensitivity is exploited by those who do not want to draw attention to what the CCP is doing. Madam Speaker, Ms Haddad still didn't take the opportunity, despite saying in her speech we should all call out human rights abuses. She didn't take the opportunity to do so, Madam Speaker. She did not speak out against human rights abuses in occupied Tibet, Xinjiang, Hong Kong or Taiwan. Ms Haddad had the opportunity to use her voice in this place and her words to speak up for the people of occupied Tibet, the women of Xinjiang who've endured forced abortions, forced sterilisation, the theft of their children, forced marriage, slave labour, the men, the academics, teachers, artists, poets, fathers, brothers and sons sent to concentration camps. The whole towns obliterated in Xinjiang, Madam Speaker, ancient mosques flattened. Madam Speaker, this is documented. There is evidence of this, Madam Speaker, but Ms Haddad did not. Ms Haddad was silent. She did not use her voice, Madam Speaker, to speak for these people, oppressed as they are by an irrational, genocidal, misogynist, colonialist, planet-plundering regime.
Oh my God.
She only said, Madam Speaker, she isn't anti-Xinjiang. What does that even mean? What does it even mean to not be anti-Hong Kong or anti-Taiwan, Madam Speaker?
That's what she said.
Where was Ms Haddad when the international students from Hong Kong were here last year putting a Hong Kong wall up at the University of Tasmania that kept getting torn down so that we took it to Senator Nick McKim's office? We were there all night with those kids, with those students, and they are terrified of the Chinese government, Madam Speaker.
Terrified of the racist attacks that they get in our community.
Where was Ms Haddad speaking up for Hong Kongers, Taiwanese? And we should, as a country, Madam Speaker, raise our voices very loudly to offer people from Hong Kong asylum in Australia, because their city and their lives have changed dramatically. Ms Haddad, whether consciously or unconsciously, is running a weaponised narrative, Madam Speaker. Absolutely. We hear the groans from Labor, which is so compromised on this.
You can't distinguish the two.
And this is an article written by Chris
Ms O'Connor, we are trying to run a safe workplace here. I think you are just on the border of being very, very personal, and I personally feel extremely uncomfortable with what you are saying. I don't believe Ms Haddad had any intention of any of those things that you've claimed. And I think it's a personal attack, and I'm not comfortable with it.
Okay, if I could just on that, Madam Speaker. In Ms Haddad's speech, she said, I was calling out racism pure and simple. She said that I have a very strong bias against the Chinese. That is a lie, and I'm entitled to defend myself in this place, Madam Speaker. She has accused me of the most grotesque motives, Madam Speaker, which I reject absolutely, and in fact which are an insult to Chinese Australians, Madam Speaker, because when people stand up and speak out against the human rights abuses of the Chinese government, Madam Speaker, and they're accused of racism and xenophobia, it's an attempt to shut that criticism down. Madam Speaker, it is a weaponised narrative. And I watched the broadcast again last night, Madam Speaker, which is why I'm in here now. And I didn't, unfortunately, hear you, Madam Speaker, pull up Ms Haddad for calling me a racist, biased against the Chinese, Madam Speaker.
Because, quite frankly, I didn't find her address as insulting as yours was. I know you are entitled to an opinion, but you're just one opinion out of 25. And I'm afraid you are going very close to being out of order. Anyway, your time is up. Thank you, Dr. Broad.
Well, Madam Speaker, I'll be back in here because I want Ms Haddad to withdraw that accusation and apologise.
You're pointing at the Speaker.
How dare you?
Madam Speaker, she's a vilifying member.
That is most unparliamentary, and it's a disgrace. Now, don't you go threatening someone like that.
I didn't threaten anyone.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
Racism and xenophobia.
Oh, who do you think you are? Sit down.
Well, what I think I am is an equal member of this place who's entitled to defend myself.
Name her.
Well, then you shouldn't make inflammatory comments.
Name her.
I urge you, Madam Speaker, to have a look at what Ms Haddad said.
I listened to everybody.
I have attention.